How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. Back for
I
14.
know. Welcome to another edition of Bariatric Banter podcast, episode 14. What is happening?
Right? It's flying by.
It is like,
Like
I can't believe
flying
it.
by.
It
No,
really doesn't feel like it's the middle of April. It really
no.
doesn't feel like we've been doing this for so long, but we have, and we are back today. And we felt like just kind of keeping the fun, good vibes going. Not that our other podcasts aren't fun, but we wanted to just talk about some more of the good side of bariatric
Yeah, the
surgery and,
lighthearted things.
yeah, the stuff you get to look forward to when you're, 6 to years plus out of surgery.
Yeah, exactly. The
Nice.
bucket list items.
Okay, so bariatric bucket list.
Mhm.
This is different from NSVs. Non-scale
Yeah.
victories are just things that happen while you're going through the whole process. The bucket list, that's kind of the reason you went into surgery, like the things that you're most looking forward to. And I remember my therapist when we were talking about it, why do you want to have this surgery? And I said, well, to be healthy. But she was like, okay, so like everybody wants to be healthier. Is
Right.
that
What?
really going to be motivating and get you excited? And,
Yeah.
why don't we actually talk about what it is that you're hoping you can do after surgery? And that became the bariatric bucket list. Um, and I think it's something really cool you can build before. And it gets you hyped and excited about the things that you don't realize that you are subliminally avoiding or not doing because you're obese.
Totally. And I think a lot of it is like the things also that, what weighs on your mind every day that you're excited to not have to worry about anymore or to cross off that mental load and to just be able to not have to think about that anymore and have that weight lifted, literally
Physically and
lifted
yeah.
off of you, right? What are those things that you're ready to part with and not have anymore?
Yeah, and it's kind of fun to be able to think about it because it's a bit hard, I think, before surgery to think about all that you can do, but we all know that there's things that we avoid and that we maybe convinced ourselves we don't wanna do or that we are limited to that deep down we're like, I would really like to do something like this." And it's not always big, giant. We're not talking like, "My list is to skydive and discover gold
No,
in, South
that'll
America."
never be on my list.
It's things that just we could never imagine that we'd be able to do. And now we kinda get the freedom to start and to think. So, um, yeah, we are in very different places. 2 years
Yeah.
post-op, 6 months now, I believe?
5.
5 months post-op.
5.
So, our lists will probably look different, and they should evolve and
Sure.
scale over time, but I think we'll just go back and forth and just share items off of each of
Yeah.
our lists. They don't have to be physically written down, but it helps, I think, to visualize these things. And it also kind of just makes you feel it is kind of like a non-scale victory. It makes you feel really accomplished when you're able to cross something off that list, no matter how big or small that item might be. Um, it's really fun to work towards that and kind of usually helps you focus on things that aren't the weight on the scale.
Uh-huh. Away from just that number,
Yeah,
'cause
exactly.
we've talked about that before. We
Um,
know the feelings on that one.
Yeah, yeah, you know how we feel about that. I'll start. One of the big things on my list was to horseback ride. I've kind of always wanted to horseback ride. I've let a few people know I wanted to ride a horse. I just wanted to ride a horse. I never actively went out and pursued riding a horse because I knew that there was weight limits. I knew I could not ride a horse. I subliminally avoided it because I just didn't want
Mhm.
to have to tell someone how much I weighed and to have to deal with that. But there are weight limits on horses. I mean, believe it or not, like they are an animal and they
I
have
actually
to.
Googled it the other day because I remembered our conversation about it, and I was curious, and I was like, "I'm
Yeah, and
gonna"
it exists, and I
Yep.
remember very vividly at the time before surgery, right around when I was thinking I need to get this done, there was an influencer who went to ride a horse and they said, "No, you're too overweight." And she like put out this big rant and tirade on social about how unfair and fat phobic this was. And it was just like this huge news story that just like
Oh my
consumed
god.
everything. And people were like, there's weight limits for a reason.
For a
Like, I
reason, like, you have
really
to think about the
I
animal.
don't think it's the farm's fault for saying that you're not allowed to go, and, like, she obviously didn't want to admit that she was obese, and she just didn't
Right.
wanna be faced with
There were
reality, and
underlying issues there,
yeah, and,
clearly.
like, immensely just, like, ranted and raved about it, but I remember thinking, like, "I don't even wanna have that conversation, like, I don't even
Put yourself in
want
that
them to have
position.
to weigh me when I'm there, like, I'll just
Yeah,
die."
yep.
And so I, like, very adamantly when my therapist was like, "Why do you wanna have surgery? Like, stop talking about health reasons. You
Right.
know, what's gonna motivate you?" I was like, "I wanna ride a fucking horse." I was like,
I
"I
love it.
just wanna go horseback riding." She's like, "Okay, we're
Yeah.
getting somewhere." So one of the things on my list, which I was able to do, was ride a horse,
And
and
at what point, how far I remember when you did
oh,
it, but how far were you? What point in surgery were you? Because I remember when you went,
that's a
but when
great
was that?
question. Okay, so I'm gonna have to look it up, so bear with me, audio listeners. I am going to be looking this up so that I can it's important, I think, to know, like, when during
Yeah,
surgery
I remember when you did it, but
did
I
I
can't remember when.
do this? Yeah, and there was no, like, rhyme or reason for waiting. I just knew, like, obviously post-surgery, I could not ride a horse at 320 pounds. It just wasn't gonna happen. So, yeah, I kinda just was like, "Hey, this'll be the year. Sometime this year would be
When it fits in with
great."
everything.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back through and take a look at it
Yeah, yeah, totally
because
put you on the spot.
no, it's okay, but, like, yeah, I do wanna remember when was it that I rode the horse. I don't think it was my first year, to be honest. I think it was my 2nd year, and that was just because I didn't like, timing-wise, it was gonna be when I was with my best friend in Ottawa. She's a horse
Yep,
trainer. That's just kind of like, "Hey, it's on the list, it's gonna happen." So, I actually did it in not very long ago, 34 weeks ago. So, it was
okay,
in my 2nd year for sure. August of last year, so almost a
there you
full
go.
year ago.
Okay,
So, yeah, this would have been, oh, geez, let's see, I had surgery March
yep,
2023, so this would have been a year and a bit
okay,
post-op that I decided to do this. So
okay,
I had definitely lost over 100 pounds at that point. Um, so yeah, it
nice,
was March, April, May,
awesome.
June, July, August. It was 1 year, 6 months post-op that I crossed one of the items off my bucket list and rode a horse.
Love it.
It was
I love
so
it.
good, and
Right?
honestly, like, I felt good. Like, I felt so
Right.
great. I like, people were taking pictures, and I genuinely wanted to have pictures taken. Like, I think that's the other big thing. There'll probably be people saying, like, "You could ride a horse at 300 pounds." I would have been super uncomfortable because I was
Oh my
told
gosh.
it's not
Yes.
easy. Horseback riding, you gotta have
No.
core strength, like, it is a bit hard on the body, like,
Jumping
wear
around.
jeans is another big thing. Don't wear leggings, wear jeans because you need and I wasn't wearing jeans at that size. Um, and I wouldn't have wanted any pictures. I would have been miserable. I probably wouldn't have been able to sit on
Would've
that
been so
horse.
sore.
Yep.
Well, getting on the horse, first of all, would have been a
Wouldn't have been
challenge.
able to hoist
And
myself
then
up.
no, people forget, like, it's a workout on your own body to be on the horse, to hold on, to, like, with your hand with your upper body, with your legs, the
Mhm.
bouncing around, the like I said, the core strength, the getting on and off. You would have been in pain.
Would have been miserable,
Yeah.
and then wouldn't have wanted any photos taken, would have been like, "Don't look, don't take photos, this is the worst." Wouldn't have physically been able to do it, I'm almost convinced. I physically couldn't have gone we went for an hour, and I just absolutely could tell you I probably would not have been able to sit on that horse for an hour. So, I'm glad I did it when I did it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, so that's
Plus, they're just so pretty and
it
cute
was
and
like, honestly, I
beautiful.
coulda cried. I was so happy about being able to do this, so I'm glad I put it on my bucket list.
Yeah, no kidding.
Nice.
That's a good one.
What's
That's a good one.
one thing on your list? Because you are, again, you're really early in your journey here, so these are
Yeah.
things that, you probably are looking to do versus things that you've probably done yet.
Yeah, and I think mine right now where I am, I'm not so Santana, I'm not like an adventurous person. I'm pretty pretty boring in that sense. For me right now, I think it's more of the things I'm looking forward to letting go, or the things that I'm looking forward to on my bucket list not having to worry about anymore. Things that don't have to take up space in my day-to-day life. So one of the things I know when you're obese or overweight, is like just weight limits
Yep.
on things. Always having to worry about weight limits.
Always.
Um, and I know, like, for example, there's a really nice winery in Grand Bend, and we have a group of friends that a bunch of moms, and we try to go away at least once a year. We call it Bad Moms Weekend, where we leave the kids at home with the husbands and we just go do whatever we want. We rent an Airbnb somewhere, we hang out. If you want a nap, you nap, you watch TV, you have some drinks, we go out. We just have no responsibilities for the weekend. And we went to one of these wineries and we were booking our table beforehand, and they have swings at the table instead of chairs. And we're like, oh, that's so cool. And I remember in everybody was so pumped to book this table,
Yeah.
and I kept pushing back a little bit on booking the table because everyone's first instinct was, "That's so cool." My first instinct was, "Can I sit on this swing?"
Yeah.
And I Googled it and I could not. I was over the weight limit for this swing. So it was this instant shit. How do I remove myself from this without missing out on anything, making it obvious? I don't want to put in the chat that I don't want to do this table because I'm too big for this. Like, it's that constant weight on you, right? So then I remember I went into this like binge mode, and tried to look at it and instantly went, okay, how can I lose this much weight before mom's weekend in 2 months so that I can sit on this damn swing? And then I like deprived myself for 8 weeks trying to lose enough weight to fit on this swing. And then, sure as shit, the table holds six of us. There were seven of us. So, of course, I was like, oh, don't worry, guys.
I'll
I'll be
sit
the odd
out.
one out. You enjoy the swing.
Yep.
I'll sit on a stool. So then everybody got to hang out around the table. And I was back here on my little stool. So that, like, having to not worry about that. Or when we went to Banff last year and we went on a gondola, and there was another couple we traveled with, myself, Devin, and Devin's friend.
Yeah.
And my immediate first thing I did was Google the weight limit of the gondola because I was like, well, if everybody wants to go on the gondola together, what if we can't? Who do I go with? How do I, like, again, try to nonchalantly work this into the
Uh-huh.
conversation? Like, so for me, that's something that I'm super excited to have on my bucket list, is to not have to worry about what's the immediate thought is, what's the weight limit? Can I go on this?
Yeah. I think we don't realize, like, how much mental space is taken up subliminally thinking about these things,
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
because I have definitely, thought about these things as well, like weight limits and doing things, and, I think that is a good bucket list item to travel without needing to Google weight limits,
Yeah.
because you
Just do an activity because you want to,
yep, you
not
don't
have to worry
realize
about it.
that this is what this is like. Um, a bucket list item for me, which, like, I know can technically be a non-scale victory, but a bucket list item for me was to be able to travel comfortably, specifically fly. So I had
Yeah.
said, like, I want to travel more. Um,
Yeah.
and I wanna feel comfortable while I do it, and so,
Yep.
I had just kind of really paused traveling without realizing it. I did go
Mhm.
to Nova Scotia with my mom, before I had bariatric surgery, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is so uncomfortable. I
Yeah.
don't like the planes," like, I've told the story of having to hide the seatbelt under my, jacket, but I just
Yep.
remember, like, I never felt great, traveling and flying, and I used to just say that I had anxiety and I didn't wanna fly because of anxiety, but the truth was, like, the whole thing was just, you don't wanna get stuck sitting next to someone, and the seatbelt doesn't
Wow.
work, and you just feel terrible, so I
Yep.
remember saying, like, "I would like to travel more and
Mhm.
genuinely just feel, like, better about traveling," and
Yeah.
I did get to do that fairly early on in my journey, which was nice. I actually went back to Nova Scotia, which was funny, and, like, and immediately you could see a difference. I got on the plane and I was like, "Oh my god, I fit in the seat, like, I don't have to worry, but, like, this is so comfortable and fun," and I had enough energy and I could walk around and do things. So that was, I mean, kind of a long-standing bucket list item, but that item for me was, like, to actually enjoy travel again. I
Yes.
want to like it because I knew I didn't wanna live this life where I just didn't go anywhere, and subconsciously, I wasn't fucking going anywhere. Like, I would never have imagined booking cruises or trips or vacations
Right?
because I was like, "Oh, well, like,
Haunting.
I can't do it.
Yep.
I can't walk around, theme parks and stuff," and so I said, "No, it's really not the life I want. Like, I want to go to Disney again. That is on my bucket list. I, want to ride a roller coaster again." But it all kind of culminated into I want to make travel a bigger part of my life. And for me, it was obesity that was holding me back. Obviously finances, but like obesity was the reason. Like, I just didn't want to go anywhere because you'd get there, be exhausted, and just sit in the hotel room and binge eat the whole time. Like, food was still my entire focus, and pretty early on after surgery, it was very easy to be like, "Whoa, I'm traveling for me again." It has nothing to do with food.
Yeah.
I had a really great trip to Nova Scotia, and that was it. Like, that once I checked that off my bucket list, I was like, "Hell yeah,
Here we go.
here we
Here
go."
we
Like,
go.
and then I spiraled that into, like, massive travel, like, just doing, like, a ton of shit that I was beyond
Yeah.
happy to do. So, um, that was a bucket list item that I crossed off. I swear I have some that I haven't done yet, so don't worry, I'll get to them. But
Yeah.
that was a big one for me, was travel that was comfortable, and
Yeah.
the focus was on travel, not food and not my weight.
Yeah.
Was a big
That's a
one.
good one. That's a good
That
one.
was a big one.
I have to add, we talked about this earlier today. Shopping. Um, shopping in any store I want to.
Yep.
That I think is gonna be um, something that will be big because I mean, I've never been a shopper. Like I'm never if you know me, I'm not super girly. I'm not a girly girl. I'm not one of those people that wants to spend all afternoon shopping, but I also think a big part of that comes from the inability to really shop. And having to always shop in a specialty store from the time I was a kid. Like, I remember always having to go to, like, plus size stores.
Yep.
And so when, all your friends wanna go out shopping and you can't shop in the stores that they're all in, and I remember my sister-in-law is gonna laugh because this happened at, a couple of this bad mom weekends. We always end up shopping. And again, like, if you don't wanna do something, don't do something, but we always end up going out for lunch
Yep.
or brunch or whatever, and then
Yeah.
it turns into, "Let's go shopping." And everyone gets all excited, and every time they all laugh because you can just see me go because they know I don't like shopping.
Yeah.
But it's literally, like, I can't shop in any of those stores, and so I'm always the one standing there holding everybody's bags or jackets or giving the commentary of what looks
Mhm.
good, and it's I hate it.
Yep.
And I remember a couple of bad mom weekends ago, we were all in Winners or somewhere, and same thing, we were on, like, our 3rd store, and I was like, I'm over it, like, I don't I know everyone's having fun, but, like, I don't wanna be the downer, but my sister-in-law was coming, she couldn't come the first night, so she was on her way to London to meet us,
Mhm.
and I remember texting her and being like, "Where are you?" She's like, "I'm almost there." And I called her. I'm like, "You need to come to Winners right now and pick me up and get me out of here." And she laughed. She's like, "What?" I'm like, "Christy, we've been shopping for hours and I am done." I'm like, "I'm over it. I can't do this. Get me out of here."
Oh,
And
I
so she
love
just
it.
burst out laughing. So she came to Winners. She pulled up. I jumped in the car and like I was gone. And they kept shopping, and that's cool. Um, but the fact that even like when I went shopping just recently, the fact that I could go into some of these stores I normally wouldn't have, you're not always going to the back of the rack to find
Correct.
the biggest size, and can I even
Correct.
try this on? Um,
That's a big one.
that I think is gonna be a huge weight, and it'll make things fun again that weren't fun, and I actually had fun trying
Right?
clothes on this time, and I was taking pictures in the change room, and I was excited to go get another pair of jeans. So I think that'll be a big, exciting I'm not quite there yet, almost, but to just be able to see something in a store window and love it and wanna go try it on and be able to, I think will be huge.
Right?
Yeah.
I think that's a great one. I think that's yeah, that's a super good one. Um, I agree so much on the, like, being able to go into any store. That one I definitely chalk up as, like, a big non-scale victory when I realized I could
Right?
go anywhere and get anything.
Yeah, and like we said, not have just just the floral print muumuus to pick from because that's
Right?
all that the plus size is. Yeah.
Right? Okay, so one of my and, like, my list grows, so, like, I recommend you guys just start it because you won't
Yeah,
realize how
add
much
to
you
it.
wanna put on it till you start it.
Yeah.
one of my ones that I haven't done yet, but one of my bucket list items, and you can think of these almost like, hey, when I hit a certain goal, this is my reward. Some people do like, oh, if I lose 100 pounds, I'll get shoes or whatever. But one of my big ones is I want to buy like
Yeah.
a designer clothing item. Um,
Nice.
I don't know what designer, or like, it's just more of the fact that
Like a bag or a
no,
piece of
no, no,
clothing?
clothing
Okay.
specifically,
Okay.
because when we used to be obese and go shopping, and I'm sure you can attest to this, everybody bought stuff and we'd be like, "And I got a scarf," or,
Mhm.
"Ooh, I got this
Nothing.
bag," because there was never clothes that we could fit into, or you put it on and realize like, "I'm not coming out of the change room in this."
The hard
That's
ass.
that is not happening.
Yeah.
And so consistently, like when we'd go to like the fancy consignment stores, which is like fancy
Yeah.
thrifting, or we'd go to like the outlet malls and stuff, it was like, why am I here? Like, I can't
Yeah.
wear Dior. I can't wear Gucci. I couldn't even wear the Gap. Okay. So I
Me
need
neither.
to maybe
Nope.
dial it back. Couldn't wear the Gap.
Or when everybody had Lululemon
Oh, and I
sweaters,
couldn't wear Lululemon because,
I
like,
never owned one. I couldn't.
surprise.
Get it with an arm in and be like, "Okay, I'm good."
Yeah, they didn't have plus size for the longest time. So
No.
I couldn't wear the Lululemon scuba jackets, like, I was never
Never.
able to do, like, these trendy, cute things, so one of my bucket list items that I have not done yet, but one of them is that I absolutely wanna buy myself, like, a designer dress. I wanna
I
finally
love it.
have, like, a really cute cocktail dress or something in
Yep.
my closet that I'm sure is gonna cost me a small goddamn fortune, but that I can be like, "Yeah, this
Yeah.
this is something I wanna cross off my list, that not
I love
only
that.
did I buy it, but I was actually treated well." And you know what? We can get into
Right.
that in a whole other
You didn't get the look when you walked in?
like, they know that I believe that I
Oh,
fit there, and that it's not just, "Well,
yeah.
we only have this one that would fit you." It's, "Well, let's grab a few and see which one fits you best."
Try
Like,
them on.
that's
Give
what
some
I
options.
want. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh, the look.
that's a
The
big
look.
bucket list item for me is, and it might seem silly, but, like, yeah, I wanna go buy a
Yeah.
really
I love that.
expensive outfit and, like, actually feel like I fit in, I belonged, and that I had
Yeah.
choices, and that I'm gonna
Yeah.
be so proud of having that outfit in my closet.
Right?
So,
Not get that, like, super awkward feeling walking into that store with other people, knowing that they're judging you and they're looking at you going, "You don't belong in here."
yeah, or,
Um,
I don't know what we have in stock that's gonna fit. Like,
yeah.
I wanna be able to go in and have them be like, "Well, we'll
I
pull
wanna
this and
try
we'll
on
pull
that.
this, and let's see what
Yeah.
fits you best." And,
Yeah.
um, I wanna actually be able to buy something that is not a bag, is not a scarf, is not a pair of socks, is legitimately, like, I'm really excited
Better for
about.
your body.
Yep. So that's something I haven't done yet. I don't actually know why I'm waiting, so maybe I should,
Yeah, I was gonna say, can't you just do that now?
I know, maybe I should go rip that Band-Aid and go buy something
You should
for
do it
myself
because you
now.
hit your 2 years.
I did.
You should just do it,
I know, I probably should just, like, rip that Band-Aid and do it, but that's
right?
that's that's a bucket list item that I have not crossed off yet.
Cross it off,
I
Hannah,
should. I'm excited about it being there, but yeah, I should cross it off because I still have tons of other things on there too.
right? And I think you hit your 2 year,
Yep.
right? I think that's a huge milestone.
It is.
I think you should cross that off your list,
Okay. I'm gonna start looking into, like, what do I want? What is
yeah.
gonna be that? Like, I already have a Lululemon scuba. It just ended up happening one day while thrifting, and, like, that I counted as a non-scale victory where I was like, "Oh my
For
god, I'm
sure,
wearing the Lululemon scuba
right?
jacket." And then I
Yeah.
was like, "It's kind of overrated," but it was great. It was fine.
The fact that you could do it and that it's the feeling of fitting in, of being and it's not the night I don't like to use the term, but the feeling of being normal,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
That feeling of being like everybody else.
Cool.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's one of mine.
You brought up a good comment,
Okay.
when you mentioned Disney. That's on my list.
Oh.
I mean, I just wanna go to Disney, period. I went when I was young. I wanna take the girls so bad. Will we go? I don't know. They've totally different topic, but they've changed a lot of, like, their pricing and their structure and all this stuff. So will we go? Who knows? But, we talked about it 2 2 years ago, I think, kind of here and there. Um, and instantly, of course, as you do, start Googling and realizing at that point in time, I wouldn't be able to have fit on a bunch of the rides. And I was like, "I don't wanna take my kids to Disney and not be able to go on rides with them." And I say, "Sorry, girls, mom can't do this one. Sorry, girls,
Mhm.
mom can't do this one." So then I started panicking because I'm pretty sure this was, like, before surgery was even a thought. And I remember panicking thinking, "Oh, crap, we can't go to Disney. Like, I can't we can't. I need more time. I need more time." And then luckily just we ended up deciding it was not the right time to go to Disney anyway.
Okay.
Um, but that would be a buck is being able to take the kids to whether it's Disney, whatever, Universal, whatever it is,
Yep.
right? And not have to do all those, "Oh, well, I gotta go do the test and see if I fit in the ride." Just being able to jump on whatever ride with them,
Right?
walk around all
I
day,
know.
not have to take a break, and just keep up with them. So some sort of theme park, Disney, Universal, something like that is on my list.
Okay, I love that. I, also have that on my list too that I do wanna go to, a theme park again because I obviously don't have to Google, like, will I fit, will I not fit? I'll be able to
I won't go on
walk.
the roller coasters no matter what, even if I fit.
Oh,
I
that's
will
fine.
still be
I will
I
go.
will still be a jacket holder for the roller coasters no matter what.
Okay, that
But
I get. I'm gonna go on them because 'cause I'm kinda
that's a dead end
pumped.
job.
But that is on my list too. I think a big one that was on my list that is kind of around travel that I did get to cross off my list was wearing a bathing suit in public.
Oh my god.
Even at the
Yep.
gym, even though it was like a women's only pool, there was always a t-shirt over my body.
Oh
Um,
my god,
and
yep.
I was like, "No, I'm not doing this." So 6 months after surgery, I went on a cruise with my best friend at the time, and, at the time, she's still my best friend, Jesus, with my best friend, and I bought a two-piece bathing suit, and it came with, like, a mesh shirt that went over it, but the bathing suit itself was neon, so you could see that it was a two-piece,
Right.
and I actually took the shirt off over
Amazing.
top and was like, "What?" And this was only 6 months post-op, like, I still had
Right.
lots of weight to lose, but I was like, "No,
I'm
I'm
doing this.
I'm doing this, and I feel really good about doing this," and I did. I didn't feel like, uncomfortable. I didn't feel like I pushed myself into it because there was no time frame on that. My bucket list has no time frame. It's just things that you've never done that you kinda wanna do after surgery, like,
Right.
there's gotta be tons of things in that you haven't done because of weight, and those are your bucket list items. So, I said, "Okay, a two-piece. I'm gonna wear or just a bathing suit in public in general," and I kinda went full force and was like, "Eh, let's make it a two-piece, why not?"
You're gonna do it, let's do
And
it.
I did it, and I was like,
Amazing.
"Okay, okay, I
I
did
could do
this."
this.
Yeah, walked to the little beach in it. I went in a pool with other people,
Love
which
it.
was like, "Whoa." So, um, I did that, and I've never felt more proud crossing that motherfucking item off my bucket list than in that
That's huge.
exact moment where I was like, "This was super worth it. This was so
Yes.
awesome." And I've since, like, evolved my bucket list, so then the next thing
Yep.
I'd like to do is,
Yep.
actually wear a bikini on a beach. So, like, yes, I went into the pool on the cruise and I did wear it
Yep.
around, but I'd like to yeah, I'd like
Go
to buy a
full on and
bikini
just go.
and just,
Yep.
like, strut the beach and wear
Love
it.
it.
So,
Love
that
it.
was such a cool bucket list item that especially before surgery, I was like, this is
Never,
never gonna happen." Like, I
never.
put it on my Instagram, like, there is a photo on my Instagram of
Yep.
me in this bathing suit because I was like, "I did the
Yep.
damn thing." Went to the
It's
Bahamas, wore this
it's crazy
motherfucker.
how empowering it feels.
Yeah. So that is one that I got to cross off my list, and yeah, that one made me really happy. Most of my bucket list items, I didn't really focus on you'll notice I didn't focus on weight or, like, a goal or being skinny. It was more like you'll hit a point where you're confident enough to wear this. And
Right.
I didn't wait till my lowest weight, which would be now, obviously. I did it 6 months post op because I was like, I feel awesome.
You were ready.
I feel
It was time.
awesome. So
And
that's one.
you have to take advantage of those moments, right? When you feel like that, and you have to build on that because they are so empowering, and that's what builds that drive to keep going and to continue on, and that's what
Hmm.
fuels that determination to keep going. So
Yep.
you have to jump on those moments when they happen for
Yeah.
sure. Um, I did wear a two-piece bathing suit.
Okay.
This was before surgery. I haven't done it since. So when I was working out with a good friend of mine is a personal trainer in, the KW area, and when I was working out with him, I lost a good amount of weight. And I remember we were in Cuba, and I bought a two-piece bathing suit, and I took it along, but I was like, I'm not wearing this, I'm not doing it." And
Yeah.
yeah, just I woke up one day, and I was like, "You know what? Screw it. Screw it. I've worked hard. I'm putting it on." Now I had like a wrap over top or
Yeah.
whatever. And same thing, I posted it on Instagram because I was like, I have to commemorate that this has happened or no one's gonna believe me.
Yes.
Um, and then I did that, then COVID happened, all this other stuff
Oh,
happened, the weight comes back on, the confidence goes away, and I didn't wear it for long. I put it on, I took
okay.
the picture,
Okay.
we went down to the pool,
Okay.
and about 20 minutes later, I was like, "Nope, I'm out, I can't do this." I was just so uncomfortable, and I went and changed. So, I will I will wear it again,
Okay.
but, like, same thing, but I wanna wear it and be comfortable in it, keep it on, not worry about it, not have to think about, "Oh my god, who's looking, who's looking, who's looking?" And tied to that, I am putting shorts on my bucket list, wearing shorts.
Okay.
I have not up until probably about, hmm, a year ago, I did not own a pair of shorts
Okay.
at all.
Okay.
I hadn't not worn shorts in public since I was probably, like, 5. I don't own shorts, I don't wear shorts. It will be 40 degrees out, and I will be in jeans. Or now finally I've progressed to, like, leggings and tights, but that took a long time.
Sure.
I didn't do that for years either.
Sure.
But yeah, it'll be 40 degrees out, and I will be in black leggings, black tights, or jeans. Um, so
Okay.
about a year ago, I bought a pair of workout shorts,
Yep.
um, and I wear those at home to do my workout, and that's it. I don't wear them out in public.
Okay.
So I did at least buy a pair of shorts about a year ago, but my bucket list is to put on a pair of shorts, walk around town, take my kids to school, do whatever, and not give 2 shits that I'm wearing
Good
shorts.
for you.
That's on my bucket list.
Good for you. I love it. And you inspired me to put wear a tank top on my bucket
Oh god,
list.
that's a bucket list item, but that's gonna be like
Yeah.
that's way down. That's my bucket
Oh,
list. I don't
trust
even
me,
wear a
mine is
t-shirt.
way down there as well because, like, the
I
loose
don't
skin is loose
Oh my
skinning.
god. I
But
don't wear t-shirts in the summer either.
you've inspired me that I am gonna put wear a tank top
Love
out
it,
in public,
love it.
on my bucket list.
We'll go
Um
for a walk, you'll wear your tank top, I'll wear my shorts.
Yeah, I love
Yeah,
it. Um, okay, so one that won't be a surprise to anybody that was on my bucket list, and it was a recent addition as of June of
yeah,
last year, was that
yeah,
I was going to run a 5K.
yeah,
I had kind of started getting into running, and I was like, "Nah, this is it. I'm going to do this." Like, I kind of like running. I've been walking for a bit, so F it. I'm gonna do this. And I
yeah.
did September of last year do a 5K, which was awesome. I have then since challenged myself to do a 10K. And I did run a 10K last weekend, the weekend before, 1 hour, 14 minutes, set a personal best, which is exciting.
You've done it twice now, right?
I've done it twice on my own. So I will say the
Yes.
5K was like an actual race with a medal. The two 10Ks that I've done have just been me out on the road
But you
doing
still hit
them.
it.
Still counts, but
Still counts,
I'm not going to check the bucket list off until I get a medal.
like an official
So,
one.
yeah, official. So in May is when I will officially probably get a medal for that. And so obviously I went back to the bucket list and I
Yep.
added that I'd like to do a half marathon, and that's
Oh boy.
probably where it will stop, to be perfectly fucking honest.
I love
Um,
it.
but that one has been stupidly fun. If you had told me before surgery that I'd have bucket list items that were fitness based, I'd be like, get bent. Like if you told me it was like bench press X amount, I'd be like, okay, whatever, because mass moves mass, and I was able to lift a lot, and I'd be like, "Yee." But if you told me there would
Me
be a
too.
cardio based like distance and that I'd
No.
change it multiple times, I
No.
would have said you're lying. So
Yeah.
I still have the bucket list goal of running a Disney race,
Okay.
whether that's a 10K or a half marathon. Pneumonia has set me off of my
Yeah.
bucket list there. But yeah, I do have fitness bucket list goals, which are
Yeah.
focused on running. Um, 10Ks, half marathons, Disney being a specific race that I would love to achieve. I also would love to do the Detroit half marathon. That will be on pause for at least the next 4 years until things get a wee bit better with our relationship with the US. But I do have some pretty cool, like, races that I would love to run in my life. One was to run in my hometown, and I'm actually going to be able to check that off my bucket list in June. I'm going to be doing a 10K through my hometown in Nova Scotia, which is really cool. But
Awesome.
that's been fun to actually look at, like, not even just like trying to beat times. None of my bucket list items are time based. It's more, where are some of the coolest fucking races that would just be really fun items to say, like, I did that. Toronto Zoo, you get to run through
That
the
would be
zoo.
so cool.
There's one called, I'm gonna butcher this, but it's like the Moses race or something. Basically, it's in Nova Scotia again, and you basically are racing the tide. So you're running on
Oh,
mud, which like already sounds
no. That sounds horrible.
horrible, but basically
Yeah,
you gotta do it in a certain amount of time before the tide comes back in, and,
that
like,
sounds horrible.
away she goes. So,
Oh,
horrible, but kinda
that sounds
cool.
horrible. Cool
And
to watch somebody else
somebody
do
else
it.
do it, and then I thought, and this isn't on my bucket list yet, but wouldn't it be cool to run a race on every continent too and be like,
That would be cool.
I ran a race in every continent, and then I was like,
That would be cool.
would I survive the heat of Africa? I doubt
No,
it. So,
I
like, but but that's kinda cool, like, maybe that
pretty
pairs
cool.
with, like, my life bucket list of just traveling more
Yeah.
places, because now I actually feel like, again, we said it at the beginning, travel is so much more fun for me now that I actually want to go to a ton of places, and I don't need to worry about exhaustion, overheating, blah, blah, blah. I mean, Africa's
Mhm.
different. I think the heat would literally kill me regardless of how big or small I am, but I'm really proud that I have fitness bucket goals and that they aren't, none of my bucket goals are lose more weight, wear a size 2,
Yep.
but it's all, like, things that
Things.
are gonna make me feel really good about myself to do and
Yep.
could do at any time. There's no time frame, like, I
Right.
think setting something like a weight goal in a bucket list is just not good.
It's not
Um,
setting yourself up to succeed by any
no,
means.
so yeah, I have fitness bucket goals, and just saying that is
Pretty cool.
cool as hell. Like, just saying, "Holy crap, I have health and
You
fitness
care about
bucket
fitness
goals."
now.
And
The Toronto Zoo one sounds
I
cool.
know, you get to run through the exhibits, and they're open, so you can, like, watch them, like, that's the cool thing
Is
about,
that a 10K?
they have a 5K, a 10K, and a half.
Oh,
Um, and the
cool.
cool thing with it is, like, because I'm not focused on, like, my distance and my speed, I can
Yeah.
stop. So, like, in Disney, when you run the races in
Yeah,
Disney, every mile there's, like, characters, you can get photos with them, and so,
that's
like,
cool.
obviously, if you're like, "I gotta finish in an hour," you miss
Yeah.
out on all of that, and so, for me, it would be more actually having fun doing it, and that's
Yeah, that'd be cool to, like, run, stop, take a break, look at the monkeys. Okay, cool.
keep
Run, take a break,
going.
like,
The half marathon and marathon in Disney, you can ride the rides. So some of them are
during
open.
the
They
marathon?
have a marathon line, and you get to
That's
literally
pretty
run
cool.
into the line, get the front, ride the
Yeah.
Matterhorn, get off, and keep going, and I was like, bucket
That
list
sounds like
fucking
my worst
item."
nightmare.
Like, wouldn't that be
Between
cool?
I mean, for you, that sounds like my worst nightmare.
For
Making
you.
me run 10K and then putting me on a roller coaster while running the 10K
I was like,
literally
"I wanna
sounds
do
like
this." What
the
if
things of my nightmares.
like, we did, uh, like a 10K, because you can walk in Disney, because they
Yeah,
actually have pacers set for walking. What if
okay.
we did it where, like, you walked it, I ran it, or if
Yeah,
you wanna run it, you can run it, 'cause you don't do roller coasters on the 10K, there's just not enough time, but
yeah,
we could do some of our bucket list stuff in Disney. We could do, like, an
yeah,
episode of go for, like, a weekend, zip
yeah,
down, do this thing, do an episode of the podcast on site, and
yeah.
then, like, show a picture of us doing the non-roller coaster rides, like, "We did it."
Right,
I think
right?
that would be well,
I would I would like to put running on my bucket list for sure. I've always thought I know. I've always thought it would be cool to just be one of those people that are like, "I'm gonna go for a run."
yes!
Um,
It's cool.
because part of me I think for me, because it's like it's a stretch goal because I hate cardio.
Yeah,
With anybody who know I hate cardio with a passion.
me
I
too.
hate it. Part of the reason I know I hate it is because I'm out of shape. Um, my my phone I get so mad when my phone pops up and it's like low cardio activity or whatever it is, and I'm like, "I know,
I know,
okay?
thank
Thanks,
you.
Sid. I know I can barely breathe right now as I'm walking up this hill and feel my life flash
Yeah,
before
thanks
my
so
eyes, okay?
much.
Yeah, I don't need the reminder on my phone that I have low cardio fitness. So I do want to build that up. Like one of my goals is to build up my
Okay.
VO2 max, my cardio, and actually not look at my workout for the day, see it's cardio, and immediately go, "Oh shit, I don't want to do
I
this."
don't wanna do it, yeah.
Um, but I would love to be one of those people who's is like, "I'm gonna go for a run," because I just think it's a good stretch goal for me. I think it would be good for my mental health. I really do. Um, but right now, like, if I run for like 10 seconds, I feel like I'm gonna die.
Oh, and
So I
trust
have
me,
goals to build up
yeah,
to.
I felt that
But
way too.
I would love to put a 5K. I've walked a 5K.
'Kay.
This was a long time ago. I thought I was gonna die.
There's nothing wrong with walking, you
Because
don't have
I
to
was
run.
no, there was a group of us that did it, and I remember being like, "Yeah, we did it." It was a cancer 5K in Toronto,
Nice.
and my brother, my sister-in-law, Devin, and I did it for my Opa, and then family friends of ours did it for their Opa, and we did it together. We're, like, basically cousins, and I remember being like, "Yeah, let's do this 5K," not realizing what 5K was, and at the time, I was morbidly obese still, and I remember like, it's walking, I can walk, it's 5K, I can walk, and then I remember my mom being like, "Do you realize how far
Yeah,
5K is?"
it's far.
And I was like, "No, it's a walk." And then I remember wherever we lived at the time, I remember I think it was when we lived on in Fisher Holman area,
Yeah.
and I remember then realizing that 5K was, like, going from my house down to whatever down Fisher Holman and back again, like, twice, and then all of a sudden, I was like, "Oh,
It's a lot.
shit."
Yeah.
Like, I had no idea. Then the panic set in, right? And so I remember a couple of the people, um, ran some, walked
Yep.
some, and then I remember I was just walking, and I remember my one cousin being like, "Come on, let's go, let's go, let's go," and trying to be all cool about it. Meanwhile, like, tasting blood in my lungs,
Oh
like, I
god,
thought I was
it's
gonna
the
die.
worst.
So I did it a long time ago, but a 5K run would be cool. There is in our town, I'm gonna keep coughing for some reason.
No, you're good.
In our town, they did it last year, and I inadvertently ended up helping with it. We have a small, really awesome small local gym, and the gym owner, she's awesome. She organized like a little mini color run in
Okay.
town,
Okay.
and I think it was 5K in total. I think it was 3K and 5K. You could pick, but basically, like around the soccer where our soccer fields are,
Okay.
you had laps there, and every time you hit a certain lap, people would be there with the color and, like, flick you with the color and stuff. And so I ended up just going to say hi to somebody and ended up, like, helping with it, and it was so fun, and everybody looked like they were having so much fun. And so she's doing it again in October, but she's doing a 1K, like a family version, so if you have kids that
Oh,
wanna
that's
come
so
do it, right?
nice.
So she's doing a 1K version, and then she's doing, I think, a 3K and a 5K. But you
Okay.
can walk it if you want to, you can run it if you want to. But yeah, I thought it was really cool that she's doing a 1K. So if you're a beginner, or like I said, if you have kids that wanna do it, that kind of stuff. So then I got a little, like, overzealous, and I was like, "Maybe I could do that. Maybe I could do," like, it's October, but
Yeah.
then I was like, that might be pushing it. I don't know." So I have to think about it. I have
Okay.
to think about it. Yeah.
I
But
honestly
I'm gonna add a 5K to my
I
list.
love it. That's what pushed me was I just, like, signed up for it and was like, "Okay, well, you're gonna have
I
to
gotta go
do
to this
this."
now.
Yeah, and I was like, "Worst
Yeah.
case, like, I will walk if I have to walk,
Great.
like, who
Yep.
cares?" But, like, yeah, I think it's just very
And I would have to
cool.
wear shorts too.
Oh. Well, yes and no, like, I ran mine in
Maybe.
leggings because, like, but, like, a
Right?
t-shirt at a bare minimum, yes.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
but I think it's very,
Look
very
at
cool
October.
that and I think it will happen for most of you that there'll be some sort of physical goal that ends
Yeah.
up on your bucket list. It doesn't have to be running, but it could be I want to hike a trail. I want to go on like a half day hike somewhere.
Yeah.
I want to
Play a sport.
canoe. I want to, yeah, like there's things that will end up on there that will surprise you in the best possible way. And we still have a bunch of stuff on our bucket list we haven't done, and we're going to
Right.
always play and iterate and change it. I
Add
want to
things.
go on like a big canoe vacation where you basically like
Yes.
canoe around or kayak around Nova Scotia. Like now I can
Okay.
actually fit in a kayak and could actually
Right?
like sustain the energy needed to do this.
Yeah.
Lots of just different things too. Like it's not always about like fun big adventures. It's things like I want to buy, buy that dress. You want to go to
Yeah.
Disney. You don't think about it when we travel anymore. It could be you want to do a photo shoot. Like that's a pretty cool one that I
Oh,
have
I
been
wanna
kind
do
of
family
debating.
photos. I've been putting off family photos for a while
I've
because I don't want them.
debated. Like,
right?
maybe I wanna get a nice set of photos. A big one that you will all come along on the journey on for me is, like, now it's time to start dating. So
Yep.
that's a big bucket list item. So am I on the apps? Yeah, I'm not gonna tell you which
Send in your
apps.
applications through our DMs.
Yeah, send them in now if you have single friends
We will
in the
take
corner area.
applications.
Um, but yeah, I am dating as a bucket list thing. It's a terrifying motherfucking bucket list thing, but,
Yep.
like, I'm kinda tired. I wanna find a husband, just throwing it out there. Like, I never really thought that that was gonna happen,
It's a big
because
vulnerability piece that
yeah,
when you're
so
obese, it's
obese.
not so appealing.
Nope, and you just kinda feel like you kinda convince yourself, like, you'll be fine on your own. Not that I need a man, it's that now I actually feel like I
You're ready.
want a man
Yeah.
because I genuinely love the life I'm building, and, there are some other great bucket list ideas. I think that's yeah, some ideas if you're thinking. Health and fitness obviously could be one, running, walking, could be travel and adventure, like maybe you wanna ride roller coasters like me, or maybe you just wanna be able to enjoy with your children and your family walking around. Maybe you wanna be, comfortable on a plane, which both Steph and I have admitted is, something that we're really happy
I'm
about.
I'm very curious when I travel at the end of May. I haven't been on a plane since surgery.
That's gonna be good
I'm
stuff.
very excited, and I'm because we're split up because we're going with the family,
Yeah.
right? So,
It's gonna
I
be
would
good.
always sit with Devin, um, and that way, like, if I had to encroach on somebody, it's
Him.
just Devin, it was fine. And I would always try and get the window
Yep.
because then I could squeeze into the window. But now Devin and the girls are over here, and I am over here on the aisle
You're
by
gonna do well.
myself. So I'm very
I
curious to
can't wait for the
see.
photos. It's gonna blow your
I'm
mind.
very curious to see.
But there's a
Um,
great one, right?
nice.
No seatbelt extender, travel with confidence.
I'm actually not going to pack my seatbelt extender
Yeah.
this trip. It'll be
How
the first trip in years that I
which
won't
will be
sneak it
awesome.
into. I always sneak it into my knapsack.
Yeah.
Even when I travel with Devin, I wouldn't tell him I had it.
No.
I would sneak it into the front pocket of my knapsack,
Mhm.
and then when I sat down, I would pull my knapsack up, pretend I'm getting my headphones, whatever,
Yeah.
and try to
Kinda like
sneakily reach in,
yeah.
pull the extender out, and then, like, hide under my sweater. Ugh, what a pain.
Yep. Like,
Just
it's
stre like, just
just
so stressful.
it is, it's not good. So there's a bucket list item, travel without an extender, has nothing to do with
Yep,
your weight or, like, it's just travel without needing it. Maybe
yep,
it's, go to the beach because a lot of us
yeah,
avoid beach and water.
yep,
Maybe it's go on a water slide, like, I really wanna go on a water slide so bad. So maybe
yep,
it's go on a water slide or go kayaking or canoeing or maybe try scuba diving, like, things that
yeah.
you
Go on
kind
a
of don't
motorcycle,
realize.
go on a Ski-Doo.
Oh, go skiing, go on a four-wheeler. Maybe it is maybe you have a goal to and again, bucket list goals are can be anything, but maybe it's that you develop your own meal prep system and plan. Maybe it's you're going to actually try new foods and cuisines now. Maybe that's a really cool
Yeah,
thing that like, oh, I'm going to try to get more into seafood, or I'm going to try to get more into this. Maybe it's
yeah,
you're going to teach your family how to cook your favorite recipe, or you're gonna create your own recipes. I might actually make that a goal for me is to, like,
yeah,
redo X amount of recipes in a year or something because I
yeah.
find that fun.
Hydration. Hydration is a big one that I need to add to my goal list
Yep.
for sure.
Um, you can do stuff around mental health as well. So again, I know that the therapist was like, don't make it all health based because we all know we need to be healthier, but that's not going to really get you out of bed. So maybe it's riding a horse for the first time or playing in a sports league.
Mhm.
Maybe it's, becoming a runner or a walker. Maybe it is buying that fancy outfit that you've always wanted to buy or traveling to
Like,
Europe.
yeah, wearing color.
Yeah.
That's a
Oh,
huge
that's a
one for me
big
on my bucket.
one.
If I can go,
That's a good one,
I like
Steph.
black, 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 gray, black, 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 black is my whole closet,
That's
right?
a good
So
one.
for me, yeah, stepping out in color because it
Ooh.
draws attention to you, right? And that's something that we often try to avoid.
Okay, Steph.
So if I can wear color this summer
Mhm.
and actually go, if I can go 3 days without wearing black, that will be
Okay,
huge.
that's a really cool bucket list.
Yeah, so simple things like that,
Very
right?
cool. Yep, I
Brighten
Steph
your
had
wardrobe.
another great one, shop off the rack. I think that's a
Yes.
great one to be a bucket list item.
Yeah.
That's very
Yeah.
cool. Okay, and in the same vein, wear more colors, but also maybe wear styles you've always wanted to wear.
Yeah.
So crop
Not just the
tops.
boxy t-shirts
Yeah.
that are way
Yeah.
yeah.
Or like
Show your
I have to buy
curves.
a dress for a wedding in June. I've
Yeah.
always thought strapless dresses were stunningly beautiful. Never ever gonna buy them because of my arms, right? But
Right?
now it's like, okay, but they're not the arms that you had before. So I like this idea of shop off the rack, wear the damn bright ass colors, wear styles you've always wanted to wear.
Yeah. Try and wear don't always just go for the oversized. Like, all my t-shirts are oversized. All my sweaters are oversized.
Okay.
All my all my shirts would have, like, a cardigan over top or a sweat over top.
Hmm.
And it was really funny because I forget what I had on the one day, and I was trying I think it was a dress or something. Anyway, I had something on,
Okay.
and it was like a baggier style, and I remember being in front of the mirror, and Devin just I could see him behind me, like, shaking his head,
Yeah.
and I was like, "What is your what?" And he goes, "Just because you wear a baggy shirt doesn't mean people don't know your size."
Oof.
And I
Oof.
was like, "What?" He
He's
goes,
not wrong.
"Steph, the baggy shirt doesn't hide the fact that you're overweight."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Ugh,
Yeah.
no." But it's all mind tricks, right? And if
It is.
anything, looking back, if anything, that actually makes you look
Yeah.
bigger.
When you don't wear things that
You
are
think
your
yeah,
size,
you
it
think you're hiding it because you're
yeah.
wearing tights and an oversized t-shirt. No, now you just look twice as big.
Yeah.
But in your head, you're like, "Oh, they
So
can't see this, they can't see
so
this."
skinny. Yeah,
They
and you're
still
not.
know you're fat. Like, and I just remember looking at him and being like, "God, you're not wrong." And
Aw.
being so mad,
I
like, being
know.
so mad that he was right.
Yeah.
And here I was in, like, my oversized t-shirt
Thinking
thinking
it
that
was
I was
so
fooling
great.
everybody. Yeah, no,
Yep. So I think there's a lot of things that can go on your bucket list. I
yep.
think my advice, and it's just advice, is I wouldn't make them set around a certain weight goal or a size of
Mm,
clothing. This is
no,
more about aspirational feel good things that you didn't realize that you weren't doing or avoiding. And we all
exactly.
know, like to other people, we pretend, but internally, we all know that it upsets us that we can't do these things, even though we have really convinced ourselves we don't need it. I convinced
Exactly,
myself I
exactly.
don't need to date. I am totally happy by myself. It's
Yes,
fine. Some people just don't get married. I don't need a husband. I don't need no man. I can do it on my own. But like, truthfully to myself, it's like, it's shit. Like I want someone to enjoy my life, but I didn't
right,
enjoy my life. I wasn't going and doing anything. I wouldn't travel, barely left the house, didn't play sports, didn't run, didn't do a single goddamn thing. All of my activities revolved around eating. When are we going out for dinner? What could we eat? When could we eat?
yep,
Blah, blah, blah. Like even my hobbies kind of revolved around sitting doing nothing. So now I feel ready. I'm still scared as fuck, guys. And I'll
of course.
do a whole episode on it. Like
But
it
you're in such a
scares the
better
shit out
place
of me.
now. You're in such a better place
I
to
like my
enjoy
life
that life with
now.
somebody, right? And that previous life, you didn't want somebody that was going to I mean, at the time, you didn't look at it this way, but that would enable that or that
Yep.
would be in that lifestyle with you
Yep.
because where's the opportunity for change and growth, right? But now that you're where you want to be, you're in a better place, you're happier, you wanna
Yeah,
share that with somebody, and you
I
want
do.
somebody who's going to want to do those things with you and help you
Yeah.
grow in those things, stay on track, build those things. You're just in a better
Yeah.
place.
This is the life I kind of always wanted, but just didn't think was
Yeah,
possible. So there's still a lot of things I still want to accomplish and do. It's not like, all right,
sure.
time to pack it in. We're good. We've done it all. Kick back and retire at the retirement home for the next 30 to 40
Yep,
years.
we're done.
So much left to do, but now I feel like I know what I want to do too, so I wouldn't take a back seat to a relationship. I wouldn't
Yes.
feel like I had to take whatever I thought I was worthy of. Like I know what I bring to the table now and I know that like I want a genuine partner, not someone to take care of me or that
Yep.
has to baby me through things. Like someone that is also excited to ride roller coasters at Disney.
Experience things. No, but that
Yeah,
somebody to experience things with and make memories with and enjoy life with versus just sitting at home all the
eating.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's the
and
thing.
not
I
being happy.
I would have picked someone who wouldn't have wanted to change their life to match my new life, which is, I get it. It's not fair on them either. But I don't want someone that's at the gym 17 hours a day. I just want someone who genuinely is like, let's take the dog for a walk. Do you want to go
Yeah,
on a trip? Do you want to travel places? Like, well, you go for a run, I'll go for a walk. Like, they don't have to match my life,
yeah,
step for step. But
yeah,
I can't be coming home and having them eating chicken wings and pizza every night and then encouraging me that I need to do the same. And like someone who really just kind of respects the journey that we're on, but isn't a clone of me. So, plus also, I just want help with the goddamn dog. So, if
Fair.
you want to come be my dog walker, that's really that's where the bar is at right now.
That's how it could start.
Come help
It
with the
could yep,
dog. And I'm
that's how
tired
it
of,
could start.
yeah, I don't want to carry groceries all the way in from the car. So,
Yeah.
but no, I'll take you guys on this journey. I'm going to be very open with it because I think, how do I say this nicely? I think
Just say it.
a lot, okay, so a lot of body positive people that I did follow before surgery that I maybe
Mhm.
don't follow now are
Yep,
lovely human beings, very
yep,
lovely.
yep,
They were not obese when they met their husbands, most of them.
yep.
They were not overweight when they met their husbands, or if they were, they're like Ashley Graham's most stunning, beautiful
Oh,
woman in the world
she was my
who's
goals
like,
for a long
yeah, that
time.
was my
Oh my
goal
god,
because she
she's
wasn't
gorgeous.
obese. She was just a bit curvy.
Yeah,
So,
it's like if I could look like
oh
her,
my
I would
god,
be
I
so
wanna look,
thrilled.
she's stunning. But this was
Yeah,
a bit of my problem was these, body positivity people who were
yep,
meant to make me feel good about being morbidly obese and fat met their husbands while skinny, met their husbands in high school or met them after their first husbands. But they were skinny. And so I know that they want to point out that they're big now or that they have flaws now. But I think if they were single and dating, it would be a completely different positive, like body positivity story,
yes.
where it would be a little bit harder just to sit there and go, "Oh, there's a man out there for you. He's gonna love you." Okay, but you found your man while skinny, and you found your man in high school while skinny, and you found your man in high school while skinny. Like, majority of them that are now currently obese met their partner before that had happened. And that's a lovely story of how their partner supports them and doesn't care because
But
we
it's not the
grow and we change
not the same.
together. But it is not the same advice as someone who is morbidly obese trying to date. The world is not that
The world
easy, and
no,
there is not
definitely
a
not.
lineup of men that just love you for you. So I get a little annoyed when I see them preach how much they love their husbands and how great it is and how you'll find someone who loves you just like this, when the truth is that's not how you met them and fell in love with them or found them. That's what you look like now because you've grown together in love and strength, but that's not how you started that journey. So it's very hard to tell your obese followers that they'll find this too when that's not what you looked like when you guys started dating. So I'm going to take you through the journey because
Yeah,
I was morbidly obese and know what it's like. And it's scaring the shit out of me. And I avoid the apps because I just feel like I'm still not good enough for them. So this is a mental journey for sure. I know it's time to
yeah,
start. And I do have a lot of great support, including my therapist helping me through it. But like, I'm gonna take you
same.
guys with me because this is going to be a really hard challenge for my self-esteem, like, really immensely hard for me and my self-esteem to go through this, but I think that the benefits outweigh the
Oh my
fear.
gosh, yes. It'll be nerve-wracking and terrifying.
I'm already so
Um,
scared.
I got put on an app by my cousin, who we were having a party at my house, and I was downstairs, and she was upstairs, and she comes down giggling. I'm like, "What's so funny?" And she's like, "You gotta come see
Oh,
this." And I was
no.
like, "Oh, why?" And I go up in my
Oh.
room, and she's on my computer, and she signed me up
Oh
to a
god.
dating app. Yeah, and I instant thought was, like, I'm morbidly obese. I'm like, "Get me off of
I
here.
don't wanna be on
Get me
them.
off here. I don't want my pictures on here. I don't wanna be on here. I don't want."
No.
Because I immediately thought, like, that the messages I'm gonna get are gonna be just so
Horrible. Horrible.
yeah,
The
I'm like, I don't
internet's a
even
horrible
wanna
place.
yes, I was like, "Don't get me off, get me off, get me off."
Yeah.
And at the time, we may have been slightly intoxicated. We couldn't figure out how to delete my profile.
Oh, no.
So, we just left it, and I forgot about it
Okay.
for ages. But that's where I met Devin. And I remember, like, just consider being so thankful because, like you said,
Yeah.
I was always the single friend. Everybody had I was in university when Devin and I met.
Yeah.
I had never had a real boyfriend.
No.
Everybody else had been on boyfriend number 4, 5,
Oh my god,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, I had never dated, I had never this, never this. And I remember just being terrified
Yeah.
when I connected with him, because same thing, right? Like, yeah, there were pictures, but you always put I always put my best pictures, and they were always only
Yeah.
like
Kinda
this,
like
and I
not,
was
yeah, and I wouldn't go meet
right?
them in person because I was
Well,
like,
that's just it, right?
"They're gonna
And so
hate
I
me."
remember, like, when I actually had to go meet him, being just so incredibly terrified.
Yeah. That's my
But
problem.
remember thinking, like, "I'm so lucky." that I found somebody who is accepting, who doesn't care, who loves you for who you are, because it's not the norm
No, and
when
it's
you're in that situation. You're always the one that's getting looked over,
always you've never really been
right?
flirted with. You've
No,
never
you're
been the
always
one
the wingman
pursued.
who goes along to
Yeah.
help the other people and to hold the jackets and make sure they're okay, but, like, you go to the bars and you're always the one just standing there
'Cause
while everybody
nobody
else is
wants to
getting hit
dance
on.
with you.
Right,
Yeah.
so it's terrifying, but I think, like you said, the benefits will outweigh the cons. I think it'll be super exciting.
I
It'll be
know.
such a good growth experience for
Oh
you,
god.
right? To put yourself out there, to be vulnerable, to embrace your new life and who
I
you are
know.
now and all the growth you've had. But it's scary to
It's
put yourself out there
terrifying.
no matter what. No matter what.
Rejection is hard, and
Yeah.
when you've lost this much weight, body dysmorphia is like a huge
Oh my
motherfucker that
god.
I'm struggling with immensely this year.
Yep.
But being rejected, which probably will happen, by the way, you get rejected if you're skinny or not. It
It's just
happens.
part of life.
You're not the right fit for that person, and
Yeah.
it's probably because you're just personality-wise not a fit,
Uh-huh.
but I will
Part of the journey.
immediately internalize that
Of
as
course.
not being thin enough,
Yeah.
not being good looking enough. And so that's what scares me is like I'll talk to them, but then I will never go meet them because I can't in my mind, I can't have them look at me and be disappointed, or I can't see the look on their face
Yeah.
that I'm fat.
But
Um,
that's your fat brain still
I
talking,
know, but, like,
and it kicks in all the
it's
time. It
still
kicks
there,
in.
like, I still don't feel and,
Yeah.
like, I said this to my therapist, like, "I don't feel skinny enough, and I feel like I need to tell them before I even meet them, 'Just so you know, I was 320 pounds and I've
Right.
lost a lot of weight,' so that they go, 'Whoa, you look so good for someone who
You have to have, like,
used to be
a
obese.'"
disclaimer on
I
your
like, I feel like
profile.
I need to carry that as a sign burned into
No.
my back because
No.
I worry that people will look at me now and think, why is she posting photos of herself like she's still fat?" Versus if they knew I had lost a lot of weight, instantly I become inspirational and how
But here's the
amazing.
question, do you want to be with somebody where you have to do that?
No.
No.
No. And that's what she
No.
said, like, "You're thinking of the worst possible dates and people.
Yeah. It
You're
shouldn't
looking
even
for
be an issue.
someone that will make this process easy and will make you realize, whoa, like you're not like I've had boyfriends, I've dated
Yeah.
not a crazy amount of people, but I have.
Yeah.
And I never ever want to date those motherfuckers again. Like they were horrific because I settled. I took what I believed
Yep.
was best for me. They were some of the worst people. And she's reminding me, like, you don't have to settle. Like the person you're
No.
finding is for this life, in this version of
This
you.
you, a different
And
you.
it
Yeah.
won't be shitty and hard.
No.
Like, it's not
It'll be right.
you're not just settling for somebody that convinces you that this is the best you're ever gonna do. And that kinda hit home too that, like, I've never even thought of what positive could look like. Like, I've never even thought about what it would look like to find my dream person because 'cause I'm still in the
Right.
mindset of I'll just take whoever's interested. And that's fucked, and we'll talk about it in another episode, but she's right. Like, I'm not thinking of the perfect person, I'm
We're
thinking
thinking
of
of
whoever's
organic
interested.
scale. And that's some of, like, the mindset stuff that we talk about where, like, body dysmorphia,
It
the
sucks.
the fat brain kicks in.
Yep.
Even when shopping the other day, like, I immediately went to the back of the rack. I immediately got nervous walking into the store because I knew there was a plus size section in the back,
Yeah.
but, like, you walk into the store and I immediately was like, "Yep, right to the back." Or you see them look at you and your first thought is, "Yep, I know I have to go to the plus
Yeah,
size in the
thank
back."
you. It's not gonna fit.
Right?
I know.
Right. And just immediately, like, the piles of the sweat of the shirts, immediately going to the shirt on the bottom,
Yeah.
at the very bottom.
Yeah.
And that takes a long time, that's to get out of you.
Yeah.
There's so
Surgery won't
the
just take that
habit
out of you
no, that is built into your brain. That is years of having to live in that life and in that body,
and not feeling
and
good
under those
enough.
circumstances, and
Yeah.
that doesn't go away
No.
easily, and I think part of it is as you get into this experience and you start having some of those positive interactions, and like you said, there is gonna be rejection, but there's still gonna be positive conversations, and maybe you don't end up meeting them or you don't end up clicking,
Maybe
right?
I
But
reject them.
right, 100%. But I think as you start to have those positive interactions, and in this whole journey, when those positive wins happen, the more of those you build up, the easier it is to kind of start to talk that fat brain down and back. But it
It
takes a
takes
lot of
time.
time.
It takes
Takes a lot
time.
of time.
Yeah, it's not easy, and I'm sure there's a lot of people who would be like, "Hannah, I would kill to." I get that, but I still feel inadequate and like it's not enough. And the other thing just to be prepared for is like people do treat you differently when you've lost weight. So I've actually been flirted with more, and
Yep.
I've seen people look at me more, which is like really flattering and kind of nice because we haven't been pursued in most of our life. But you go on the apps, and it's not like it's 100 million people busting down your door. Now, do I
Right.
connect with more people? Absolutely. But I remember telling my therapist, like, oh,
Yep.
I think I thought I'd go on here and have like 5,000 people just be like, yo, because like, isn't it supposed to be super easy for skinny people to date? And she was like, yeah, so it's not. And I was
No,
like,
dating sucks no matter what.
"Oh." Like, now is there way more attention than I've ever gotten?
Yes.
Sure, but it wasn't kind of maybe what I thought it would be, so I internalized that as because I messaged Steph and I was like, "So, like, are my eyes uneven?" And I think I remember you going, "What the fuck
Oh
are you"
my god.
and I was like, "I
Yeah.
just need to know, like, am I attractive? Because like, now I'm
You
starting to think
is
I
my
look
face
weird."
slanted?
Yeah, I literally asked you if my
Face
face was
slanted?
slanted because I was like,
No.
"I think I'm not attractive."
You
Like,
just thought you were gonna wake up and have, like, 1,500
oh,
messages
yeah,
on
like,
your
everybody and their
phone.
mom, the Sultan of Brunei coming to knock down the door, and I like,
They
my
ain't sex for
therapist was
anybody.
like, "Calm down," but my immediate thought then was, "Oh, am I still too fat? Oh, am I ugly? Oh, fuck." Like, I've never had to think about that before, and she's like, "Stop.
No.
First of all, you're
It's
dating in your late
totally
30s," and I was like, "Oh, yeah, okay, so that's true. You have higher standards, you've, like, actually put work into this, and you're not on Tinder." And I was like,
right.
"Oh, also very good point."
You're looking for a niche group of people.
Yes.
You're not just open to anything.
Yeah,
You're
and
looking for a niche group, so it's gonna take
yeah.
time.
Now I have matched with way more people than I ever did before. So she's like, don't discredit that. But
Right.
I had this weird notion in my head that it would just be like open floodgates. But then she's like, you also are now intimidating. And I was like, hmm. She's like, well, you have a podcast. You're a we're not a public figure, but like you have a public podcast.
You're out
You're
there.
running 10Ks. You're training for half marathons. You have a very high paying, lucrative career. Like you, again, are also like, you're not a 20-year-old college student just looking for random people. Like, you now are a bit intimidating for people
You
to
have
reach out
set the
to.
bar on your side as well.
And I was like, Dr. D, you say the perfect things. But I was like, yeah, that's a very good point. I forgot, like, there's multiple factors now working kind of against me, like, especially being a very high paid executive
Female.
female.
Yeah.
Men don't like that.
And listen, you've checked a lot of things off your list.
I'm
You have
actively fit.
also set the bar high.
Yep, I eat well. That's
Yeah.
pretty well known. I'm training for half marathon. So I do understand that there's going to be people who are like, that is not the
Whoa.
lifestyle that I am looking for at all. And
Yeah.
that's okay because I have to
Right.
remind myself I'm looking for a partner so that we can
Right.
have like this life that we just cannot believe we got lucky enough to share
And that
together.
that stuff is not for everybody.
Yeah. So I'm becoming more of the romantic I used to be, and I do really think there's a world where I just find my better half and we
Yeah.
live an amazing life, but I have to hold
But
on
you
to
have
that.
standards now, and that takes time, right?
Standards are
And
okay.
you have standards, you've set the bar high for yourself as well,
Yeah,
you know what you want, you have a certain lifestyle you're looking to match, you're not willing to settle,
yeah,
so now you gotta give yourself a little bit of time to find the right person who will fit into that category
yeah.
versus just anybody,
That's the thing, right? It's not just anybody, it's the right person.
which it should be.
Yeah. So, like I said, I'm going to take you guys on this journey because this is a lot of what, even if you're not dating, Steph's advice is going to be phenomenal here because she'll be able to help me understand how to navigate a relationship after having surgery. And I'll
It's
take you guys,
hard.
those of you who are single will be able to kind of see what it's like dating after surgery because I know the questions. What about the loose skin? Are you going to feel comfortable in front of? I don't want to talk about that right now because it'll
Yep,
prevent me from fucking going on a first date. But trust me, I've had
it's
very in depth
real.
conversations with my therapist about, okay, so
We've
like, we're not going to be able to go on a date after the
no,
first date because like the loose skin. And she was like,
it's
again, the right man
yeah.
will not give a shit.
No. And
And
I can tell you in relationships, like, that conversation has started to come up because it's something that is very, like, on my mind, right? And you're self-conscious about it. But, yeah, dating through this is hard. Being in a relationship with somebody who is not in the same place that you are with this is hard. Dealing with this with kids is hard. Oh, yeah. Sneak peek.
Sneak peek, I think this will be our next episode, so send in your questions. Tell me which dating apps to be on also, because like, maybe I'm
Love
on the
them.
wrong ones. If you have any single friends, divorced dads, like, go ahead, send that through, that's totally fine.
We'll take the
But no, send
DMs.
us your honest questions because I think we do need to start talking about relationships, body image issues, like, I think this is a big thing that a lot of people are genuinely
Yes.
curious about. Um,
Mhm.
so I think that's what our next episodes will be absolutely is like
Love it.
relationships and dating.
Let's do it.
And then, like I said, we want to do a big Q&A one with you. So stay tuned for us posting that. And then our guest episode. So send us anybody you want to see on the podcast, anything you want to see us cover on the podcast. This is truly being fueled by all of you. So all these topics have come from you, the amazing listeners. So just thank you. Thank you for listening to us. Let us spill our hopes, fears, desires, anxieties. We just hope that, yeah, we can show you what a, normal bariatric process looks like for just two women going through it. And we're going to take you through this journey every single day you allow us to. So just thank
Exactly.
you.
Agreed.
Love it.
We wouldn't be on episode 14 if it wasn't for you guys. So, definitely send us questions for next week and we will address them around, like I said, relationships, dating, marriage, kids.
Yeah,
Send it through.
the whole
We would
shebang.
Yep, we'll definitely answer them.
I love it. Well, we'll see you next Monday, folks. Thanks for listening. And Steph, like always, thanks for joining me.
Anytime.
Bye.
Bye, guys.